What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. So this is going to be another GBR video, so we're going to be actually trying out Domino today. So we're going to be trying her out against Galactus and also Master Mold. Mainly we're throwing Master Mold in there because she didn't do too good against Galactus, so I just wanted to see if she could clear Master Mold. I've had her at level 70 for a while now, and I just wanted to get through some of the backlog of my level 70s and just see how they did in GBR. So today is Domino's Day, so let's go ahead and take a look at our build here, and then we'll hop into a little bit of the gameplay. So I haven't really got around to putting any Uru on her. I was going to, because I really like Domino. She's one of my favorite Marvel characters, but she just wasn't super strong so far in the game, so that's why I haven't really got around to investing more resources in her. All I did is enhance her gears here, so I do have the option to put Uru on. I've got some 4 enhancements, and I got a really lucky roll there on the last gear. I've leveled up some of her gear, and that's just because whenever I get capped on the X-Men materials, if I'm working on a level 70, I'll try to get them to level 70. If not, then I just kind of dump that into some of the gears of some of the X-Men that I like more, or some of the, mutants that I like more. So over here on her skills, we just have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th leveled up, mainly for the damage there. The 3rd skill for the reflect. The isolate set, we have Power of Angry Hulk on her, and then for her custom gear, we have a guard break, ignore dodge, 140 proc. So nothing too spectacular here. I do like guard break immunity on her, even though she doesn't necessarily need it, because her 5th and her 4th skill, where you're going to proc on, they are iframes, so you shouldn't really need the guard break immunity. But again, I don't know, I still like it on her, because every once in a while I get guard broken when I'm trying to get into this skill. And for her uniform, I just have her uniform at heroic. So final thing is, take a look at the details here. She's got max attack speed, max ignore defense, max skill cooldown. Her crit rate is actually really low. I didn't realize that. And then her crit damage is pretty high. So maybe I just need to work on that crit rate, and she'll start doing a little bit better. But anyway, that's my build on Domino here. So let's go ahead and jump into the GBR videos and see how she did. Alright, so here we are loading into the fight. We have 2 random teammates that are going to be helping us out here. One with a tier 3 Cyclops without uniform, and one with a tier 3 Namor that's hopefully going to be carrying us during this fight here, because that Cyclops is not really going to be doing much. The team that I decided to use here for Domino is going to be Beast Leadership, and then we have Taskmaster for his tier 2 passive and support, because Domino is of course a weapons specialist, so she can take advantage of both of his bonuses. And yeah, I was hoping that would help out Domino a little bit more here, because she's not really known for her damage, so I'm not very optimistic about her performance here against Galactus. And as you can see, the bars are moving, but not by very much, so that is actually mostly Namor's damage right there. So Domino's not doing much work here, so I don't know, her damage is just not cutting it for GBR, or at least not for Master Mold here. She's going to have good damage for a few other, well, not even a few other game modes. She's mainly just going to be used in Shadowland. She can do okay in World Boss Ultimate, but nothing spectacular. So yeah, she's a little outdated already, even though this uniform isn't that old. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but I feel like the uniform's not extremely old compared to some other characters that got uniforms before her around her time are doing better than her. Yeah, so I was hoping for a little bit more here, but as you can see, we are still doing some damage here, and we do end up playing out pretty much this entire fight. I think we end up having like an 8.5 minute clear or something like that. And Domino, of course, not doing a lot of the damage, but what I was trying to do here with Domino, because I don't have the best build on her, it was only that 140 proc, so nothing too spectacular, is I try to alternate, or at least kind of somewhat consistently time my proc on the 5th skill or the 4th skill. Mainly I aim for the 5th skill, so that's what I try to do, and to keep her protected for the most of the time, I stagger the skills out. Actually, no, not really against Galactus here. You don't have to stagger the skills that much, just because, less stuff to be dodging, whereas in World Boss Ultimate, you want to stay protected as much as possible, or like in Shadowland or something like that when you're doing a high stage. So mainly I do the 5th skill, I try to proc on it, and then I do the 3rd skill, or no, then I do the 4th skill, and then I do the 3rd skill for the damage immunity, and that keeps her protected pretty much the entire time, because you have an iframe on the 5th skill and an iframe on the 4th skill, and then that damage immunity on the 3rd skill carries over the extra time that you need for the 5th skill to get off of cooldown. So that's the general rotation that I've been using for her, and it seems to work pretty fine in fights where I need the protection kind of thing. So I gotta dodge this attack here. Oh, I thought he was doing the big blue orbs of death, but these are just little mini orbs, so the mini orbs aren't that much of a problem here. But yeah, like I said, this is a pretty long fight, so I think we're gonna go ahead and skip towards the end here, since we are gonna show a little bit more than just Galactus. So yeah, let's skip ahead a little bit more towards the end of the fight here. Alright, so here we are at about the last minute and a half or a minute of the fight. As you can see, we are getting through this, but that's mainly Namor there carrying us. The other guy's still alive, which is pretty nice. I thought he had died early on when I was doing this initial fight, but I guess not. And yeah, I haven't really showed her damage quite yet, but as you can probably predict, Domino is not going to be a recommended character against Galactus, but let's go ahead and let this finish out here. We'll try to get a little bit more damage in before we run out of time, and this is going to be, I mean, a good representation of how much damage she can do overall, since we are pretty much fighting the entire fight here. So it's going to be almost 10 minutes worth of damage to show what her kind of max potential is with my current build. Of course, if you have a better build on her, you're going to see a lot better results. Like with the few of the characters that I've done where I've seen that they either can't clear Galactus or they're barely able to clear Galactus, I've definitely seen videos of those characters clearing Galactus quite easily when people have like a really strong build on them with like a CTP of Rage, some Uru, and they have good, you know, comic cards and all that kind of stuff. Then those characters can definitely do that. So, you know, if you have all of those other factors to support your character, even if they're weaker in terms of their comparison to other characters in the game, yeah, you can still do well if you got one of those maxed out builds. But for my current build right here, Domino's not really cutting it. She does fine for me though in like high stages of Shadowland. Like I've used her on what, like stage 60s I've used her, even, yeah, like mid to high 60s I've used her, and I've had really good success with her because she can lock down multiple enemies. So she's really good for like rumble stages or anything where you have to target multiple enemies, and she can solo those. So that's one thing that's pretty nice about her. So here we go. We should be finishing off the fight in a minute here. We just have 2 bars left. Let's see. Oh, and there we go. So how much damage did Domino actually do in this like 8.5 minute clear? As you can see, the Namor did 81%. We did 12 million damage. So yeah, that's nowhere close to what I would say is an acceptable amount of damage for Galactus, because generally I need to see like 25 to 30 million. They usually say like 24 to 25 as a third of the damage, so she didn't even get to half of that. So yeah, she definitely needs a little help here. So seeing her performance here in Galactus made me wonder, is she even going to be a good option for Master Mold? So you know what, let's go ahead and jump into a fight against Master Mold real quick and show her there. Alright, so here we are loading into a fight against Master Mold, and this is actually going to be a really quick fight. That tier 3 Sharon Rogers there just kind of like destroys everything. So yeah, it's going to be a really quick fight, but we still luckily get a pretty good idea of what kind of damage Domino can do against Master Mold here. So let's get ourselves loaded in. And I think this was the Blast Master Mold. Was it Blast? What is he? I didn't even see if it's shown yet, so I can't remember if we have type advantage or not. I know I didn't go against type disadvantage, so yeah, he's Blast. I can see the little mini sentinels there are Blast type, so Domino does have the advantage here. I'm using Wasp for the debuff because I definitely want the debuff removal, and then we're using Taskmaster again. I had done another run of Master Mold here with Domino, but one of the other people that did not have a debuff leadership decided they wanted to get mind controlled and then use their tier 3 skill and destroyed my Domino. So yeah, that one wasn't very fun. I still got a good amount of damage, so I was going to show that clip just because it was a longer clip than this one, and then I could get a better idea for damage, but after just like multiplying the damage at the end of this clip here, they ended up being pretty much the same, so I might as well just show this one here, and you'll get a good idea of what Domino can do against Master Mold here. So there we go, just doing our normal kind of skill rotation, trying to proc on the 5th skill. For some reason our damage proc gets off, then I will proc on the 4th skill, because both of them are very good options. As you can see, he's just melting, and I think it was the Sharon Rogers that was doing the damage. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was that Luna Snow. But look at that, this Sharon got mind controlled as well. I don't remember which 2-3 it was that killed me last time, but I kind of think it was another tier 3 Sharon that just yeah, was not paying attention and got mind controlled. So it's so annoying when people do that. It's one of the things I hate, is like I'm trying to test out a character, and I don't mind if we lose, because I just want to see how much damage the character can do and however much time I let the fight run on for, and then they just get mind controlled and kill me. It's like, come on, dude. It's like, I didn't even care if we beat this or not. I just wanted to see what the character could do. But no, you decided that you wanted to end that. So yeah, as you can see, that was a very quick clear. And okay, it was actually the Luna, it wasn't the Sharon. But as you can see, we did almost 7 million damage in that 2 minutes, or a little under 2 minutes. So that means that if we let the full 10 minutes play out, Domino would have done 50% of Master Mold's max HP in terms of damage. So she can do Master Mold with this current build that I have on her. It's still nothing super impressive, because Master Mold is actually quite easy compared to Galactus. So doing half of Master Mold's health in the entire time is kind of like, oh, okay, the character's got some okay damage, but nothing too great. But then if you do half the damage against Galactus, you're like, yeah, this character's got some really good damage. So yeah, it's kind of a big contrast, so keep that in mind. But so with that said, that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.